It's amazing how quickly the time goes when
Yeah,
you
I
get like
know. I
this.
keep saying that every single show. I look down and I'm like, what? It's already been 40 minutes? What? Yeah, time goes by really fast. All right, let's see if we can get into at least a couple of these hot topics. And let's get through them as quickly as we can, guys. All right?
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, to explain our hot topics, each host brings a hot topic they want to share with you. We'll ask, is it a truth, lie, or shenanigans? Our panel will talk about it for a bit until time is up. And then we'll go to our audience questions and comments. So make sure you're talking to us in all our threads. Let's jump into it, Robbie. So I understand Trump might find himself homeless in a few weeks. Is this truth, lie, or shenanigans?
Well, this is some truth. This is some truth, some hopefully legally binding truth. So it looks like Trump's plan to live in Mar-a-Lago is going to be challenged. So for those of you who don't know, Mar-a-Lago is a private club that he owns in Palm Beach, Florida. And there were numerous reports that he was having his apartment renovated, that Melania Trump was touring schools for Barron. But the big pitch is that when the club was created, he signed an agreement that could keep him from living there. I checked out a transcript from an NPR radio show back in December, and Jack McDonald, who served as the Palm Beach mayor and a member of the town council for about 16 years. So during this interview, he disclosed that when Trump signed the deal in the 90s, when he proposed converting the palatial estate into a private club, the town agreed with a stipulation. No one can stay in any of the club's guest suites for more than 3 non-consecutive weeks every year.
So he can stay 3 weeks a year. That's it. 3 consecutive weeks a year.
And that was part of the
Non-consecutive.
deal that he signed in 93. He signed that was part of the deal that he signed in 93. So a letter has been sent to the town officials claiming that he has already violated that agreement by staying there for longer than 21 days. But it's unlikely that they were really monitoring the president's stays. So now, Palm Beach does have a history of disputes with him. Stuff that involves like the height of a flagpole, plans to build a dock that was rejected, and a helipad. The helipad was built for President Trump, but it's supposed to be taken down after the fact. So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Right? So this could be a real legal issue for him. The only loophole that I can foresee is that he is the owner and technically not a resident. But if he's living there, he's technically a resident as well as the owner. It's like the hair club for men. He's not only the president. Like,
he's not only the president.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
Neither do I. I don't need it either. I'm good.
So yeah, I just want to go around and get some reactions from my co-hosts and what Palm Springs, Mar-a-Lago should be doing with this more than 3-week-a-year resident.
I'll start. So I read through the article, and personally, I think Trump should be forced out. I mean, he only received the approval. He only received approval because of he was looking for some zoning and some tax incentives and some things like that, because Palm Beach was totally against this Mar-a-Lago club, turning into a Mar-a-Lago club initially. And so he needed to try to get the zoning rights to be able to do it. The only way he could do it was turn it into a vacation spot. So, and he's got tax incentives that are still going on. So I say kick him out. I'm happy if he's homeless. So I'm happy. Any negative thing that happens to Trump right now, I'm probably happy camper. I mean, at the very least, they need to remove the tax incentive. At the very least, they need to drop the tax incentive if he's going to stay there. Yanni, you want to go next?
Trade-off.
Yanni, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say that I think that they should make him leave because it's not fair. Like, you have to treat him like he would treat the other people or the other residents or guests or people that are part of the club. So, and I remember Mayor Patrick Wowan spoke about this. Like, we talked about this when the riots were happening, how they weren't going to let him enter Mar-a-Lago. So kind of expected that, but I think that he's a good manipulator and he's going to find a way to stay, if we're being honest.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Lizzie?
So I guess, Rob, there's no room at the inn, if you will. But the thing that is I find intriguing about this story is before Trump became president of the United States, his main residence was in New York City. He had a sprawling penthouse apartment in his property, Trump Tower, on Fifth Avenue in New York City. And so it's I mean, I understand why he wants to stay the hell out of Dodge with New York. One, because New Yorkers absolutely hate him now, even more so than they did prior when he, became president, but also because the New York AG, Attorney General, is on his ass and is about to indict him any day now.
Sooner
But
than
that's
later, I
just
hope.
but that's just it's so fascinating to think how his life, his residency has changed in 4 years. When he became president, even though he was here in DC, Melania and Barron were still at the penthouse on Fifth Avenue in New York. And they shut down the entire area in front on Fifth Avenue, which is a major shopping tourist attraction
It is.
in New York City. But they shut down the area in front of Trump Tower. I think it was like a 4-block radius on 2 streets, not just Fifth Avenue, but also on Madison Avenue. You could not drive through that area. You could not walk. And so it's interesting. So they really, were like, okay, this is Trump's spot. We have to protect him. Now they're like, we don't give a fuck. Get out of here. We don't want that. Don't come back. No.
There's so many
So
people that just hate Trump so much.
crazy. It's crazy to think. He has a sprawling golf course in Scotland. They don't want him. The PGA has said, we're not having him at this venue, Like, he is, about to be kicked to the curb in ways that we never. And this is pre-indictment, pre-conviction, pre-jail sentence. So not only may he be homeless as a free man, but he might have an apartment in jail in New York City, federal prison at some point. But one quick point also, you saw this, but currently, Mike Pence is homeless too right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Mike Pence didn't plan for Trump not.
He's couch surfing. He's couch surfing.
He's staying on his boy's couch. These people are ridiculous.
Robbie, real quick, you got about 30 seconds. What are your thoughts?
Really, that's it. As the owner, he may have found the legal loophole that will allow him to stay at Mar-a-Lago for in excess of the 3 weeks per year as part of that agreement with Palm Springs. It certainly violates the spirit of the agreement, but like Johnny alluded to, Trump has proven time and time again that the rules don't apply to him. He will work hard to find a way to manipulate the system, but it'd be hard to find legal representation seeing as he doesn't want to pay Rudy anymore. So I don't think any lawyers are going to want to step up and really want to help him anymore.
He ain't going to be able to pay Rudy. Rudy's about to get disbarred. Rudy's about to get disbarred.
Yeah, he's about to get a bunch of stuff. Hopefully they get him.
Yeah.
I hope they get him for all those billions. That what was it, 1 point some whatever billion. I hope they get him for all of it. Online we have Roka says he should move to Russia. Jacqueline Robinson says maybe his cult can raise money to buy his grifter couple of place. This grifter couple a place to live. I can't read all of a sudden. George Fournier says exactly, Neo. Another hair-raising tax scheme. Kevin Thaxton says he can't go back to New York.
No.
Mike Winter says better yet, snatch back his tax benefits. He doesn't fulfill any of the financial obligations of his, but add the IRS to the tax list. Jacqueline Rom says he's like a walking STD. Yeah, Rudy's being sued for $1.3 billion. Yes. All right. We got to move on to the next one. We got to move on.